All right, guys, today we're going to paint this trailer. We decided to do this high quality job in the good old shade tree area. If you notice behind me, we've got shade probably 360 degrees around us at some point. And in the afternoon today, this will be 100% in the shade. So that'll help us out. Well, a lot of fellers are going to be like, hey, why don't you use the good old Rust-Oleum? Well, the truth is, here in the good old deserts, that stuff usually only lasts about a year before it just turns to chalk like the trailer we've got here. So a guy needs to do something to make that a little bit better. So we went to the good old Easy Bay to find the best product for the job. So we came up with this. This is the high quality Kirker brand. I have no idea how good it is. I got off of Easy Bay. I don't want it a two-part urethane. This is what they call in Europe 2-pack. I don't know about this brand. I just know that it was the cheapest one. It comes in a good quality Earl Scheib gallon. So if you notice, it's only 3/4 full. Kind of watery, but it does come with this nice activator. And it was, I'm going to say $100-ish in that area. And I think that's enough paint to put a couple of coats on that trailer. So I want to be sure to do this the right way. And so we're just going to sand as little as possible. I did wash off the bird poop with the pressure washer. So we did that much. And I'm going to cover the wheels up with something because I don't want overspray all over those. I might do a little bit of sanding. We'll find out later. I actually bought this trailer in 2010 trying to buy a used one, and everybody wanted more for a used one than I could just buy a new one for. Back then I only paid like $3,300 for this thing. Isn't that crazy? Well, 6 months later, of course, it was right after the dip in the market. The poor old trailer company just didn't make it. I bought several trailers from them. This was the old Aztecs trailer in Fontana. I bought this one from them. I still have my old Aztecs trailer there. They were very inexpensive and did a really nice job. And of course, their margins were so thin that after the housing market crashed, they didn't have enough profit margin to stay in business. So, and they ended up going under. So the plan is to take the old spray gun and do the, you know, make her look new again. I really want to do a high quality job because you never know, right when I get done with this, I might just go get like a yard of gravel. So yeah. I went to the kitchen and talked my wife out of these scratchy things here. Maybe I think that'll do enough to make the paint stick. Let's see. Yeah, that's about all she's gonna get right there, I think. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to do that much. That seems like work. On some of these flat areas, I'll kind of hit it with this Bauer sander electric. Since I don't have air out here, I think that'll work just appropriately. Oh yeah, we ain't doing much of this. That's about all she's getting there. I think one of these fancy dish scouring pads will probably work pretty well to get the bird crap off. Doesn't do much, and it ain't getting much. I think I'll just continue with that. to get some stuff properly covered up there. I mean, kind of. And this here, you know, should I cover it? I think I'm just going to pretend I didn't see it. That there, it's getting painted. A little overspraying the battery. That's fine. Main thing we got to do now is get this little dust off there. Should we tack rag it? Definitely not. It's fine. Well, here's all the tack ragging she's going to get. So for this, we're going to be using this Porpheus spray gun. These are absolutely the best semi-budget high-end gun. If you notice, it has a tulip technology on the tip, and that is what they use on the Iwata Supernova. I mean, this gun here is capable of spraying very little overspray, very little fog, real good atomization. In fact, it's probably one of the best guns I've ever used, and they're a lot cheaper than, say, a Iwata or a Techna Pro Light from DeVilbiss. And everything on here is its own stuff. I mean, the quality, the knobs, everything is the really super good quality. If you're looking for something like that, you're willing to pay a little bit more. I mean, this is probably about the same price as a Black Widow, but in my opinion, it's actually way better. So anyway, check it out. This is the PRD 717. I have a few others that are coming, and everything I've gotten so far from these guys is the best. All right, boys, here goes nothing. All right, guys, let's take a look here. Yeah, this looks pretty nice. I mean, nice and shiny, and it's got a nice hard finish to it. Next day, I mean, that thing's a lot better than the old Rust-Oleum. Rust-Oleum, the problem with that stuff is it's just a regular oil base. And, I mean, look at how much it is now. I mean, I could paint this with this stuff for almost about the same price. I don't think this was $100 for this material. And it's a urethane, and it has a hardener in it. I mean, look how shiny that is. I mean, Rust-Oleum would look shiny like this, and then a year later, you know, it looked like it did before, but not rusty. It just looked flat, you know. That's usually what happens here where I live. So some of you guys back east, maybe that stuff would work fine. But here in California, you know, I got a couple. I know there's not going to be rust right here, okay? So that's why, you know, that's okay. We're not worried about that stuff. We just wanted it to be, you know, of course I didn't get any runs here. There's giant amounts of dirt, which we're okay with. And, yeah, it's perfect for a dump trailer. A lot of the runs that was probably even in it beforehand. There's a bunch of them all over the places. I was just giving a scuff down. All these were all there from the original signatures from when they did it. Yeah, so I don't care. Just trying to get it, you know, to where it's maintained. You know, I don't like my stuff just all junked out. I bought this brand new, and it was actually, when I bought this, there was, you know, I was looking for a used one. Guys wanted more for a freaking used one than a new one. I think I paid $3,300 for this trailer. So it had a brand new battery, brand new tires. So what triggered this whole thing was my 15-year-old tires were just done. Honestly, I think I could have probably gone a couple more years with these, you know. They were so bad. They were, I mean, these are so really old bias ply, and you don't see any sidewall cracks really in them. But, you know, they were just kind of oddly shaped. So I knew they were going to blow out. You know, one of them was so bad that it had like tread wear here, and there was hardly any tread wear here, or I don't know, it was all lumpy, but it wasn't separating. You couldn't see like cracks in it, but 15 years old. So I did the right thing and went to the old interweb to Amazon and had these delivered. So anyway, that's where I got them from. The cheapest place to buy them, and I put them on myself with the old Harbor Freight tire changer, because you know, I might do the same thing as some other guys have and just buy one. They have the Chinese good tire changers, because, you know, I've gone to the tire guys lately and they're getting like entitled on their pricing. I call them the tire bandits now. I mean, they are just like, they've just gotten insane around here. I mean, they had a 40% increase in like 1 year, and I was like, you know, I'll just do them myself. So I figured it's time for a remodel. We'll just do a repaint on it, you know, of course leave the dents in it, and the license plate's bent. That's okay, because that's going to happen as soon as I use it again. But at least get a coat of something on here that will just give this a little more life. Now the base of this, I don't know if I'm going to coat this with anything. I mean, I really could just get some of that red oxide Rust-Oleum primer, or if I got some Pour 15. I don't know what's cheaper, one of those two. Whichever one's cheaper is what I would use. And then just coat this with that. It's going to get all scratched. Like I said, I'm probably going to get a load of C-Mix here pretty soon and make another pad so I can put another little garage up. I'd like to have that inside, you know, the lift out in the sun. It's not in the sun though. It's actually in the sun in the morning. I get a little bit of shade early in the morning from this tree, and then about between 10 and about 1 o'clock, there's, or 10 and 12, there's sun here, and then the sun goes past that tree and there's no sun on it. So that's why I park it here. Even though it gets leaves all over it, I want to keep it from getting too much sun, wiping out the hydraulic lines and all that stuff. That's what I do with most of my stuff, other than my tractor. Kind of, that thing gets neglected. But anyway, I'd like to get that inside too, one of these little houses. In fact, I'd love to just have a big shop right here, but it's kind of hard to get paperwork to do that. In fact, you can't unless you build it with block and or stick or something. Here, you're not allowed to build a steel building, but yet my neighbors all have done it. So, you know, I'm sure they didn't get, I looked up and they have not got permits for them. So, you know, obviously that can happen without a permit, but be a big deal to have to tear it back down just because of that. Like if I have to move, it'd be really difficult to sell the house without permits on that. Well, and maybe not. The other guy, I saw another guy did the same thing, and he sold and moved to the next state over where things are a little more people friendly. And he was able to sell it. So, I don't know. Guess it all depends on who's buying it, right? Okay. So anyway, that's it for this, guys. Looks a lot better. What do you tell me what you think? See your comments below. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel if you haven't done that already. See some more things like this. I don't do these many trailer painting jobs, but since I was doing it, I figured we'd go ahead and share it with all you guys, and maybe you could learn something, find a new way to do it. And it seemed like I didn't have any fish eyes at all, even though I didn't do much sanding. And that stuff, that particular Kirker stuff, seemed to go on real nice, almost like regular oil base. So anyway, it was already pre-thinned. So a gallon was stretching it to do all this 2 coats. And it said 2 to 3 coats. So I did 2 and got a pretty good film of paint on there. So anyway, it's held up its shine. It didn't dye back overnight much. Just only where there was primer on these things. I primed this many years ago. I had some primer on the roller and I just swung it around on there. All right. Anyway, I'll talk to you in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe.